everyone, it's Anya here. I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks, and today we are making these really nice, wonderful coasters. I have made them in cotton because I have been making iced tea and the condensation was making my desk wet, and these cotton coasters soaked up all the water, and that was really great. So I want to show you how to make them. So for this project I am using a 3.5 together with my King Cole cotton soft cotton. I really enjoy using that cotton. I have quite a few colors of it, and it's a soft cotton, but it's not mercerized, so it's really nice. It's a matte color, so it's really nice to use, and I have quite a few colors of it, as I said. This pink one is rose petal. We have sage, and this time I am also using the lavender one. I've made these little cards because I have been using this cotton so much, it just made it easier if I had it in little cards. So there we go. So that's what we are going to be using today. I have been using this coaster that we are making to put my iced tea on it. Because of the condensation, I always ended up with a wet patch on my desk, and when you're working that's just not very convenient. This cotton just soaks it all up. Okay, the coaster is wet, but it keeps all the water in it, and it just dries overnight and it's ready for use again in the morning. So very handy indeed. So we are going to make a second one of these. So I'm going to start with the lavender, and in a magic circle, so I do a cross over my fingers like that. I'm going to go under the first strand here, pull up the second strand, and then go back to that back strand and pull it through. There we go. And I am going to do 3 chains to get started. 1, 2, and 3. And then we are going to do 11 double crochets into the magic chain, and we have to make sure that we have 12 posts and 12 V's going round, but of course with that chain that we did, that will make 12. So make sure also that you are working over your 2 strands. As you can see, I try to hold on with these fingers to my work there to give it some tension, and that makes it a lot easier to work. And I have to make sure I have some yarn to work with. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I count the V's on top of the work, but I don't count the chains of the chain that we start with. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So that's 11. Now I'm going to pull that end of the magic circle. I am going to skip the 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go into the V that is on top of that first double crochet that you did, and I am going to do a slip stitch, and that slip stitch then creates the top of that chain. So there we are. That's our first round done. You're going to cut it off, and best if you straight away sew in the end, because we are going to get confused otherwise. So do an invisible sew in of your end there. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to leave it to the back so it doesn't get into our stitches in a moment. Next we are going to use the rose petal, and we are going to make a slip knot into with our hook, pull it closed, and we are going to work not under the V's but in between the posts of the stitches. Okay, so not under the V's but in between the stitches. and we are going to start with going in between and doing a single crochet like so. Then you chain and you go in between the next and you do a single crochet. You chain, oh, you chain, oh, and a single crochet. You chain and a single crochet, chain, and you go all the way around. And that should give you 24 V's all around your work. Yeah, here. Now, as you can see, because I did not sew in my middle yet, it is coming undone a little bit, but that's okay. The moment you sew that in, it should be fine. You can make sure it doesn't open up again. Okay, so I have chained. Now, that standing single crochet always closes up for me, so I go under the next V, that's the chain. Why don't I? Yeah. And I do my slip stitch, and that makes that top of that single crochet there. Again, cut off your cotton, and we have finished the second round. Next, we are going to use the sage, and we start again with a slip knot. You insert your hook, and we are going to do 3 double crochets together in the chain 1 spaces. So I always like to start just before where you finished, so then you can take that with you. So you yarn over as you would with a normal double crochet, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, don't finish the stitch, but you start a second stitch. Oh, that was too much, there we go. Okay, so you start your second stitch and you just pull through 2. So this is my 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to do the together bit. Okay, now you're going to do a chain 1, and you're going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to try and take along with me some of these ends. Double crochet, but only do it half. So 3 double crochets together, chain 1. And the same thing again into those chain spaces. There we go. Okay, and you continue like this all the way around. And a chain 1 until you meet this first cluster there. And I will see you there. So when you come to the end of the round, you are going to go into this one here, because that first one just closes up for me, and you do a slip stitch there. So that has finished that round and that colour. Right, so this is where we are at now. Now we go back to the purple, to the lavender, and we are going to do a slip knot, and this time we are going to work in between the clusters. So again, not picking up the V's, but going in between the clusters, and we are going to do, and I just start anywhere really, let's start here. We are going to do 4 double crochets in between the clusters of the previous round. And you're just going to go to the next place and just do your other 4 clusters. So there's not all that difficult this round, just doing 4 double crochets in between the clusters from the previous round. I will see you at the end of your round. I have come to the end of my round. Once again, I am going to do a slip stitch, not into this little first one here, but the next one, and then that slip stitch takes over the top of that standing stitch. Once again, I am going to cut off my yarn, and this time we are going to go back to the pale rose, and we are going to do an edging in pale rose by doing, once again, in between the clusters we are going to do a single crochet, so a standing single crochet. You're going to chain, and then you're going to skip 2 stitches, and so you're going to split the 4 double crochets into 2 and do a single crochet there. So you chain and you skip 2 double crochets. Let me just show you. Okay, have I got everything properly in my hands? Okay, so chain, and you go in between these 2 double crochets and you do a single crochet, chain. So every 2 double crochets you're going to do a single crochet and you're chaining in between. Can you see what I am doing? I really like these coasters, and I have already made quite a few in all kinds of different color combinations. So they are so easy to make. They are a quick project. If you make, you could make them in Christmas colors because that's, fast approaching. You could make them in lovely summery colors like this. For, like I said, with my iced tea, it just left me with a wet desk, which just wasn't convenient at all with paperwork and stuff. So putting this underneath, yes, the coaster gets wet, but it doesn't run off your desk anymore. So I think, yeah, it does a really good job, and especially obviously because it is cotton. If you're going to use acrylic for this, it will not work. Acrylic does not soak up wet, does not soak up water, so you do need cotton for this. Also, it will help, with a hot drink as well. It will just, protect your work surface as well. So there we go. I've talked so much. I've done my round. Right, so I now have 2 coasters. And you can see this one has been used because it's a little bit sort of denser, because it's been wet, of course. The first time it will not take up the water so well, but just persevere with it. By the second time it will be fine, because obviously that's how it goes when you have new things. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to sew in the ends, and you will have some really nice coasters to use. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.